got harder and they've got tougher, ladies and gentlemen. I can remember a couple of years ago, I stood on this very stage taking the mick out of nice little products with stupid little adverts, like your Weetabix ad, how we're going to advertise Weetabix, pretend they're a bunch of skinheads, fair enough, you knew where you were. Even the terminal mind crap of the shake and vac woman, you knew where you were. These days, what do they have? They don't have nice little ads for nice little cosy products. They have enormous 2-minute video adverts, like feature films, for multinational companies. Why do they advertise multinational companies? I mean, what are they trying to get us to do? You're not going to sit on a sofa thinking, oh, I must go out and buy a British petroleum product sometime. I mean, what are they trying to say? They're trying to say, we've got loads and loads of money, as Harry would say. We're very rich and you're not. The Hanson Trust, a company from over here doing rather well over there. We don't flipping care. You're not going to give us any of the money, are you? Why are you sitting there showing off? Nobody in this room, nobody in the whole of the country gives a flying bonk that last year ICI made enough carpet fibre to ring the world nearly 3 times. It is an entirely meaningless, boring, pointless thing to be told. I mean, imagine if you were at a dinner party and you got sat next to a stranger and a person said, hello, you don't know me, but did you know last year ICI made enough carpet fibre to ring the world 3 times? You'd be cutting your wrist with a butter knife, wouldn't you? Bored out of your mind. I'll tell you another thing. About the lies in adverts. They don't tell you how wide the strip of carpet is. So it's a meaningless statistic. I mean, the carpet on top of my old grand's toilet would ring the world 3 times if they cut it up thin enough. There are so many strange, new, jumpified. Everything is overindulgence. Everything is about how rich you can possibly be. You know, like the new Renault family. Of course, I always take the mick out of the Renault family. The old days, it used to be the sexist ad where the husband says, you know, I've got a new job and he hasn't told his wife. But these days, the Renault family have got right on, you see. They've gone all groovy and feminist. Because it's the woman what gets the job. Isn't that marvellous? Well, right on, sister. And she rings up her husband to say she's got the job. That stupid woman who lost the job on Cat's Eyes because her voice was too irritating. And she rings up, and how does she say that she's got the job? She says, darling, you know that woman you had breakfast with. You won't be seeing her so much anymore. That woman you had, she means her. She means that woman you were in bed with. They're all sexy, the Renault family, they're all sexy. Not only have they got a lot of money in a Renault, but they also still do it, you know. And everybody's sat on their sofas at home thinking, oh God, we haven't shagged for 3 months and we really ought to talk about it. And there's the Renault family. That woman you had breakfast with. How do they communicate at home, that family? How do they talk? I mean, a kid comes home from school, round the tea table. Mum, you know that person you gave birth to? Could you pass him the butter? Strange images. These rich... I mean, everything's changed. Nothing is about sharing anymore. You don't find the Oxo family sharing a bit of that anymore. It's the Renault family. The Renault family wouldn't give someone their last Rolo. No way. They might invest it for you, but they wouldn't give it away. Strange people. I mean, I know the ad has had the mick taken before, but I must take another look, because it is basically the basis of my thesis. That woman, standing in her kitchen, what's she doing? She's going... What's she doing in her kitchen? When she's been giving her husband a bit of relief before the dinner party and got her hair stuck in the back of her throat. She's been sitting there through the whole of the hors d'oeuvre thinking, I can't shift this, I really can't. Working her tongue round her mouth, she's out in the kitchen going, What is she doing? I'll tell you what she's doing. She is imitating a percolator. And why is she imitating a percolator? Because she is scared that the people at the dinner party, who we presume are her friends, after all, she has invited them, she is scared they might discover she is serving instant coffee. Well, flipping terrifying. I'd crap myself, wouldn't you? I mean, she's not remotely worried that her friends might poke their head round the kitchen door and realise she's gone out of her mind. She's going, just like, what's she? So finally, she gets the coffee mate. It doesn't sound a bit like a percolator. I've got a percolator. I mean, if it sounded like that, I'd sling it out. It sounds like a flatulent elephant. I've got the coffee out of a farting elephant. Is that all right, everybody? She brings the coffee through and she hands it round, and this is where I come to my point. Because there's this woman there, she's sort of smug and plump. Doesn't matter that she's plump, but just to locate her, in your mind, she's all plump. And she gets the coffee off her friend, I presume her friend, the hostess. Gets the coffee, she goes, lovely coffee. Anyway, as I was saying. No, thank you, nothing like that. Just, lovely coffee. Anyway, I was saying. Nothing. This woman has been in the kitchen, imitating a percolator for 25 minutes. Her friend can't even say thank you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what the woman's doing. She's in the kitchen trying to get enough phlegm in the back of her neck to gob at the old bag. I mean, all these strange... I mean, you've got to be rude, you've got to be arrogant, nobody shares anything, nobody takes the little kids fishing anymore, it's all lovely coffee, thank you. Know. I mean, what is it about? I've lived these lies. They kind of peddle a lifestyle. I make plenty of cash, I admit that, you know. Oh, Mr. Elton, you make cash and you vote and you support the national health and you've got a suit. Aren't you a hypocrite? Well, no. But I say that all these images they show us, you know, they're lies. Like, I lived on my own many times. I've lived in a bedsit. Most people have lived in flats on their own. They've lived on their own. Has it ever happened to you? You're sitting at home alone in your bedsit or your flat in the middle of the evening. There is a knock on the door. You open the door. Outside is a total stranger who says, hello, I've just moved in, do you have a Diet Pepsi? It's a pretty flipping specific request, isn't it? She's really thought about that one. So many strange images trying to tell us things are not as they are. What are Telecom doing? Who are they trying to fool? I mean, we know the phone system is knackered. I mean, he said something I shouldn't have said. We know that every time... Oh, knackered finally came on a clean word. We know that every time you pick up the telephone, you get a cross line. The moral dilemma of the 80s is, should you listen in when you get a cross line? You're having a flipping boring conversation. Click. What are they trying to tell us with their adverts? That everything is rosy? That woman up in Scotland with a voice more irritating than the woman off Cat's Eyes on the Renault ad. Every time I phone my daughter in Kent, the line goes all fuzzy. Well, of course it goes all fuzzy. Of course it goes all fuzzy. The minute the daughter in Kent realises it's the old bag on the line again, she puts the phone in a bread bin. She stood up there in Scotland. Her husband's, you know, she's a lovable granny. She's got all the blue rinse and the pearls, you know, because she's Telecom's idea of a lovable granny. We know her sort. She's the sort who bring back hanging for shoplifting. The only person in Scotland to vote Conservative, and Telecom have got her in the adverts. And there she is, stood in her kitchen, in her sitting room in back. There's the old man behind her husband. He's obviously dead. I mean, he doesn't move. All weekend he doesn't move, stretched out on his sofa. He does not move. And suddenly, I ask you, when you ring up and report a fault to Telecom, what happens? Do they send a couple of juggernauts with motorcycle outriders round? No, they do not. Nothing happens at all. Nothing happens for 3 whole weeks. Nothing. Until you finally are forced by starvation out of the house to buy a box of cornflakes. You get back. 5 minutes later, there's a card. We called. You were out. Naff you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to cut this one short. There was a point to it, but maybe we'll have it next week. Will you please welcome Chew and Cry?
Well, hot damn, gotta dig it. Ain't gonna work for you no more. Ain't gonna work for you no more. Ain't gonna work for you no more. I dig it up now, now, now. Ain't gonna work for you no more. Ain't gonna work for you no more. Ain't gonna work for you no more. Now, now, now. You said you were caught by 7 years ago. Now you said that you were ever so tough. Now love that I did. I loved you for putting me down in a totally new way. Down with those bad old subtle days. You ain't not digging. Hot damn. But now you're too much pain for too little gain. Now I feel like I'm going to fight back right now. I'm gonna withdraw my labor and love. Strive for the right to get into your heart. Withdraw my labor and love. Strive for the right to get into your cold heart. Ain't gonna work for you no more. Gonna work, babe, but you know, easy. I know that you said it never was gonna be easy, but I'm this hard. You're so cold. The romance goes, the promises break. My mistake was to love you a little too much. I'm gonna withdraw my labor and love. Strike for the right to get into your heart. Dig it up, withdraw my labor and love. Strike for the right to get in your heart. Baby, now withdraw my name and love. Strike for the right to get into your heart. Withdraw my name and love. Strike for the right gonna work for you no more. Ain't gonna work for you no more. I can't stand it. I just don't want it. Never gonna need it now. Anywhere. I can't stand it. I just don't want it. I'm never gonna need it. Anywhere. I don't want you, babe. I don't need you, babe. I don't need your tricks and tricks. I don't need your administration, your bad determination. Half the nap out of you, and your super bad crew. I don't need you, I don't need you. Pseudo satisfaction, baby. Can't stand it. I just don't want it. I'm never gonna need it. Anyway, I can't stand it. I don't want it. I don't need your pseudo satisfaction, baby. Withdraw my name alive. Too much pain, did it too much pain, did it too much pain, baby. Withdraw my labor alive. Straight by the rain to get into your heart, baby. Now withdraw my labor alive. Ain't gonna work for you no more. Ain't gonna work. Withdraw my labor alive. Straight by the rain to get into your cold heart. Ain't gonna work for you no more. Ain't gonna work.
Channel. Oh, English channel, Welsh channel. Tenno.
As Dylan Thomas might say.
And at 10:30, it's time for The Last Resort. Not so much a chat show, more a deconstructionist pastiche with a liberal sprinkling of contemporary cultural references. So, Jacques Derrida, come on down.
And on Halfway to Paradise, we have a feast of family entertainment, including cannibalism in the Highlands, greyhound racing from Glasgow, and music from the Boondoo Boys, Hue and Cry, and a host of others. So tune in to Halfway to Paradise. It's yesterday's television today.
Dylan Thomas, Jonathan Ross, and Joey the Budgie, the pecking order for Friday night on 4.
Well, in a couple of minutes, Lou Grant, and he's looking at the unacceptable face of modern America, kickbacks in the movie business, and unfair dismissal at an exclusive private school. 2 hot stories about to break onto the Trib's desk in a couple of minutes.
Sainsbury's medium roast coffee for filter machines, our original blend of top quality coffees, are now down in price to 82 pence.
Are you thinking of starting up your own business? In this game, you need all the help you can get. That's why you might appreciate your very own NatWest Small Business Advisor. He's there to help guide you through the ups and downs of starting up on your own. To point out the opportunities, like business development loans, and the pitfalls, like cash flow problems, like tax. Ask to see the Small Business Advisor at your local NatWest. If you want to get ahead of the game, press for action.
Personally selected from the most exclusive catwalks of Europe, a collection of beautiful clothes brought together by Barry and Jane Hooper at Dukes of Exeter. Jean Muir, Caroline Charles, Escada, Hugo Boss, Valentino, the chic and panache of Europe's top designers, together with a very special kind of service. We look forward to seeing you at Dukes, Harlequins, Exeter.
Clancy's Interiors, where dreams become reality, with sofas and sofa beds made with individual design and style. Sofas arranged singly or in pairs are the centerpiece of a comfortable home. Would you expect to pay a lot for this? Well, it will cost you absolutely nothing to come and browse. A relaxed atmosphere and a warm welcome awaits you at Clancy's. Clancy's Interiors, the affordable dream.
Hey, look, it's one of those new Fiats, a Tipo. I read they spent millions developing it.
Really?
Yeah, made a nice job of it too. Oh, what a car.
Yes, lovely.
Galvanised body, they say. All over.
Is it?
Ah, shame we're going the other way.
No, let's follow that.
Tipo?
If you make a major purchase at Rumbelows today, you don't have to pay now. You can wait until February. Have you rumbled it?
A haunting range war, a battle for survival. Comes a horseman.
I don't want to have to ruin you, Lila.
That soldier boy looks like he took a bullet right in the chest.
Put him in the shed.
So you need me. Well, I figure I need you too. Oh, boys. We got a whole pack of dogs to deal with.
Jane Fonda, James Caan and Jason Robards star in Comes a Horseman, Sunday at 10:50 on 4.
You're watching Channel 4. Now, corruption, kickbacks and cover-up. All in a day's work for Lou Grant.
Hello, I'm calling from the Trib. I'd like to confirm a quote.
Getting around for 2 hours. I'm coming up on deadline.
How much money was involved? Was it over $1,000? Was it over $10,000?
It's gone. It just disappeared.
What disappeared?
My copy. It just dropped right out of this terminal. What causes that?
Static electricity. It's probably Heidi wearing pantyhose today.
Is it an invasion of her civil liberties to ask her not to walk like that?
It's an invasion of my civil liberties.
Turtleneck, Rossi?
Oh, had this a long time.
Oh, she's got a big job interview today.
Well, at the Times?
Remember that piece I wrote for that airline magazine?
Yeah, about when the New York World went broke and the press gang rioted?